Hello and welcome to LarpWright. Today I'm going to show you how to take a factory standard mass-produced Larp weapon and make it into something a bit more, let's say, custom. Let me show you a before and after picture so you can see the difference. So, if this is something that interests you, like and subscribe, and I'll show you exactly how to customize this. I start by rummaging through my leather scrap box. I'm looking for something that is thin enough, a bit stretchy, and has a great color. This piece here should fit the bill. To make sure that this really sticks to the grip, I'm roughening up the surface with a bit of low grit sandpaper so there's more surface area for the glue to stick to. After that, I'm using a paper towel and some isopropyl alcohol to clean the grip, so make sure it is free of any dust and any grease. As you can see, I'm getting quite a bit of dirt off here. Once this is clean and dry, we can start with the gluing. I want to put a small ring on here to make it more like a bastard sword. I like it when I have a little ring at the bottom of my one-handed grip, so my hand won't slip down that easily when I'm fighting with the sword. But this is completely optional, and this sword might be a bit short for this. But I'm using a bit of leather string here, and once again I'm roughening up the surface with the sandpaper so the glue will stick. Then it's time to figure out where this actually should go. Take a bit of my trusty Curvel Fix glue that is also used to glue soles to shoes. You could also use Pateks, even hot glue would work for this, but this Curvel Fix is the best stuff I know of to glue this kind of stuff together. And after spreading it out a bit, you have to let it dry for about 10 minutes. In the meantime, I'm cutting a piece of leather that shall be used to wrap the grip. At this point, I don't make real length or width measurements. I just do this by feeling. Basically, I've wrapped a lot of handles, so I can usually just guess how much leather I will need. If in doubt, make it a bit longer than it needs to be. Then do a test wrap and cut it to length afterwards. Finish the leather by cutting an angle in the same direction at both ends. That will help to start and finish the wrapping process. After about 10 minutes, the glue is dry but still tacky. So now you can press the two parts you want to glue together and they will stick. And thus I get this small ring 2/3 down the handle. Now it's time to glue the rest of the leather on. that, I'm spreading glue on both the handle and the leather, making sure that I have good coverage of glue on all parts. And it's time to start wrapping. The angle I've cut in helps with the start, and I usually start wrapping at the pommel, not at the hilt. But I messed that up when wrapping this sword. It's not a big difference. If you wrap it from the crossguard down to the pommel, the folds of the leather will make it harder for your hand to slip down the grip, which is not a bad thing, but also you will work off the leather and you might need to re-glue the leather wrap at some point, depending on how much you use the sword. I'm using the stretchiness of the thin leather to get this as wrinkle free as possible. So especially here at the end, I'm stretching it quite a lot, using a lot of force. And at this point you can trim the end of the leather strip to its final shape and length. Apply a bit more glue if in doubt, or if it will hold. And finish off the wrapping. You might want to secure the end at this point with a bit of masking tape, but this here stayed on its own. Also, I've made a little bit of damage here, a little tear, because I pulled so strongly on the leather. So I'm filling that with glue, hoping to remedy the damage, wiping off the excess, and it's not too bad. To somewhat improve on the quite boring color scheme of the crossguard and the pommel, I'm doing a silver dry brush using a bit of acrylic model paint. And I found that in contrast to my latex weapon that I grounded in black, this here metallic gray needs a lot more color in the brush and doesn't take the dry brushing as well. But if you've got enough color in your brush, you can get quite a nice effect. Though it is subtle, there's not as much contrast as I would usually have when I've base coated the piece in black. Still, it's a bit more shiny. I'm kind of simulating here is the natural wear you would get on a sword like this when wearing and using it. So everywhere it would rub against your clothing, you would get brighter coloring, and everywhere where it would rub against your hand when you're holding it would be a bit brighter in color. At this point I've got so much paint in the brush it can barely be called a dry brush. Now all that is left to do is let this dry and film the intro. This finishes the build. Thanks for watching and goodbye.